All right, guys. So today, like I said, we have our tune. Right now, I'm sitting in the car waiting. It's I think it's being uploaded to the actual computer right now, and then I believe afterwards we're gonna have to go for a little drive to see if everything's good. What has changed? I'm super excited. I paid for this like 2 weeks ago or something, but it's he was very backed up. A lot of people want a tune from him, so man, this is super cool. Oh, there we go. Tune is being uploaded into the car right now by James remotely. So let's see what's going to happen when it's all installed. So she's getting all ready now. Just have to wait a little bit longer for that tune to be fully uploaded. So then we're going to have to go for a little drive, and then we're going to see how it's going to do. Just real quick, with the tune, there's a lot of stuff that comes with it, but to highlight some of the most important things, rev limiter gets removed, speed limiter gets removed, DOD or AFM, the active fuel management system, gets shut off. So there's a kit to like actually remove it mechanically too, and that's what I'm going to do in the future, but not now. So this will make a big difference. Shift points are totally different, way faster. The torque converter is going to be disabled in all 3 gears besides 4th, which that's something that if you drive this car or you have this transmission, the 4T65E, you'll notice that like in town, in traffic, like it'll lock up really quickly, and it's super fucking annoying. So that's going to get changed. And then some other stuff. So we'll see here in a little bit, and I'm super excited to start driving it. So we have started it, as you can see. He's messing around, and the tune should be installed, but now he's just going to check. We're going to do some driving and see if everything works as it should, and go from there. All right, so we just had to do a little bit of driving where we had to do a pull from 20 miles an hour to 50 and like foot flat to the floor. I actually did it for the first time in this car yesterday, and it rips. You wouldn't think that when you see the car. It really is a fucking sleeper. And even now, he turned it to low power mode. It was still very, very quick, so that made me chuckle. And it sounds so much better just cruising at like 40, 50 miles an hour without the 4-cylinder mode. And then I had to do some cruising at 50 miles an hour. Now he's going to check everything, all the numbers that came back, see if the car is in good shape. I think it will be anyways, but no check engine lights, we had nothing. And yeah, and then we're going to turn it back to full power mode with all the new adjustments in there and see how that does. All right, everybody, so it's been a couple hours since the tune was all done. I kind of got a headache, so I just had to take a break and chill for a little bit. But it's all said and done, and man, does that make a pretty big difference on the car itself. So when I was driving it after the tune was installed and we just had a drive to make sure everything was working well, I also asked my tuner to just give me an idea of the overall health of my engine and transmission, if anything was wrong with it or not. And the results from the tune itself are pretty amazing. Now, it's not cheap to get it done, but so I was kind of like wondering, like, how much of a difference will it make, and if at all, and or at least noticeable to me. And I will say the biggest difference for me right now is that active fuel management system being gone. Finally, it drives so much better at lower speeds. I hated it, and every time that you would, well, not floor, but every time you would accelerate, it would have to kick in the V8, the 8 cylinders, as opposed to the 4 cylinders. So that's always that caused some lag here and there. And then the other thing was that torque converter in my transmission, and it just it wasn't slipping or anything, but these transmissions in stock form, they just kind of shift slow. It's like a grandpa transmission in a way, with a engine that's not very grandpa. So that is completely fixed. There's no more torque converter locking up at low speeds or in low gears. So that makes it shift really, really, really crisp, nice, smooth, and fast. And then also the increased power. It even sounds a little bit different, I'd say, in a good way. So that's all really good stuff. The fans are set to come on sooner. And then, at the end of the day, the results from him checking my car's engine and transmission came back. So the transmission itself is in really, really good shape. God bless. That's the one thing that you get worried about when you buy a car like this, because they have so many issues that are known. So he said that the transmission shift times are phenomenal. Like the phenomenal range is between 150 milliseconds and 250 milliseconds, and I was like right around 260. So that's really, really good. Makes me wonder if this transmission was actually rebuilt. It probably is, because I just cannot imagine a car with 100,000 miles with a notorious failing transmission like that to be in that kind of shape. Torque converter looked really good. Everything transmission-wise was fine. Even the temperatures wouldn't get up to a crazy amount, even though I'll get into it a little bit. And then the engine itself, it was in good condition and everything was working as it should. However, my engine is not making the power that it should be making. So it's essentially lacking around 20 horsepower of what it should be making even after the tune. And there were three main reasons for that, according to my tuner. So number one reason is that, bad gas. Not that I put in the wrong stuff, but here in Florida lately, we've had a problem with, the quality of fuel. So that could be the issue. I always run 93. Issue number two could be bad or worn spark plugs and wires. Now, that's not the case because I changed those out literally 2 weeks ago for NGK TR6IX plugs and AC Delco performance wires. And then problem number three could be carbon buildup. That can happen in many, many cars. So I think that's probably the reason why. And so I was talking to my tuner and he sells a E85 kit for my car. So you can run, E85 and 93 at the same time. You can just switch back and forth. He said, buy the kit. You make enough money, buy the kit. It'll save that problem. It'll get you back to the amount of power that it should be making, because E85 is actually able to decarbonize, your engine. So I went ahead, bought the kit. It's about $300. Should be coming in early next week. And I'll be running E85 fuel from then on out, which should decarbonize my engine. And it should basically solve that lack of power problem. It's not a huge issue, but I just want my car to run the way it should be running. And that's that. So, and on top of that, the other thing that I ordered too, after washing the transmission temperature fluids, is I ordered the transmission cooler, the True Cool transmission cooler. One of my friends is coming over from all the way from Holland to here, and we'll be doing a lot of driving across Florida. As you know, it's 95 to 100 degrees here every day. What kills a transmission? It's heat. So I need that installed, and that should make sure that the transmission temperature will never, ever really exceed 195 to 200 ever again, which is great. So I'm gonna have that installed on here before he arrives and before that kind of like road trip starts with this car. Shift kit, I gotta get off my lazy ass and put that in as well. I have it laid in my back seat, literally. When that's all done, this car should be reliable, right? I mean, not that it let me down at any point so far, knock on wood, but you don't want that to happen either way. So that's done. And then I guess when all that's installed, the next thing that we'll be doing is probably going to be some suspension parts, new shocks. I wanted to do coilovers. I don't think I'm gonna do it. Why? This car is just a cruiser. I mean, it's quick in a straight line. I don't need it to be quick in corners. It's front wheel drive. I'm not gonna race this car around the track, is what I'm trying to say, right? Next year, when I get my Camaro or my Corvette, that's gonna be having that if it doesn't have it already stock. And this car will just be my daily cruiser. And it sounds fucking phenomenal, so I wanna keep it that way. And then I guess the cold air intake can go on. I'm thinking of getting, 50-pound or 80-pound fuel injectors, especially with the E85 kit, to support that. And I think that should be enough. Obviously, we're going to do a full mechanical DOD delete kit next year as well, as soon as I have another car so I can pull out the engine, as well as a new camshaft and headers. And I think that should basically be all to complete the build. I'm thinking of doing new wheels and tires. Some days I like the stock wheels, some days I don't. We'll have to see. New headlights still need to come, but that's the lowest of my priorities. I want to get this thing mechanically in tip-top shape first. Cold air intake, like I mentioned, and new ZZP coil packs, and all the other stuff that's on the list literally has to do with either cosmetics or suspension. So suspension's almost there after the shocks, I'd say, and then I need new lateral arms, and then that's done. And then other than that, we are pretty much getting near stage one completion. So long video, a lot of rambling, a lot of babbling. Hope you don't find that boring. But yeah, that was the video. Appreciate the guys that actually like this for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, kind of going over the tuning and driving the car. So till then.